Good evening. Welcome to Norm MacDonald Live, our third podcast. And I could not be more excited about this podcast until about 10 minutes ago, because our guest was going to be the great Robert Blake.
Yeah.
And I love Robert Blake, and I always have since I was a little kid, because I watched Beretta, which was my favorite show. And that's probably before your time, Adam
Yes,
Egget.
definitely.
My trusty sidekick, Adam Egget.
Right on.
And you didn't know Robert Blake, probably.
No.
But in the 70s, they had these shows that were detective shows.
Right.
And but most of them were kind of corny. Like they had Frank Cannon, who was played by William Conrad.
Uh-huh.
And as a matter of fact, now that I think of it, most of the detectives back then had something wrong with them.
What was wrong with Cannon?
Huge, obese man. He was a fat man, and he'd chase down the criminals, and then he would karate chop them on the neck. That's how he ended up getting them. He knew how to karate. And at the end, it would be him eating like a big dish of pasta with some lady. Anyways, and Longstreet was blind.
Jesus.
He was a detective, was blind, and he relied on his dog a lot. And a lot of times he'd go, there's a clue underneath this girl's, skirt. The dog knew where Longstreet wanted to go.
And they had luck solving the cases?
But I'm saying they were very corny kind of sick of.
Right.
But then Beretta, it was like Martin Scorsese had made
that
a
sounds
detective.
good.
He was a tortured guy. You know how now all the superheroes are conflicted?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. But I like this guy. He was conflicted, And anyways, and it had the greatest theme song. So I said, let's get Robert Blake.
Yeah, it would have been a great guess. He's engaging.
How exciting that's going to be. And we got him on. I got him on the phone only for 5 seconds.
What happened?
Daniel Kellison apparently was on the phone with him for an hour.
How did that go?
I don't think it went well.
Probably not.
But I got his book. One of the things was, you've got to read my book.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, he's not coming.
Yeah.
And I read his entire book.
Oh, that's...
And it was great. It was one of the best books, celebrity memoirs I've ever read.
Good, then you should plug it anyway. You liked
Yeah.
it?
It's called Tales of a Rascal.
Because he was on The Little Rascals.
Of course.
Right.
But I think there's it's drenched in irony as well.
Yeah, sure.
Tales of a Rascal, Robert Blake, What I Did for Love. So it covers everything. He pulls no punches.
One of my favorite roles of all time was him in David Lynch's Lost Highway. Just riveting.
I never saw that.
Amazing. Yeah.
But David Lynch likes me.
That's bizarre, even for Lynch. That's amazing, though. That's really cool.
What?
We should get him on the show.
David Lynch?
That'd be great. We should put him on the old list.
Oh, the list. We have a list. We have a list of guests we're trying to get. And we don't have a list, do we?
Well, I always carry it around with me. You never know when you're going to need the list.
Is that the list?
This is the list. I always carry it around with me.
This is the list. This is guests we're trying to get for the show.
Yeah. It's a long list.
It's really long. And they run the gamut from Al Franken. I mean, he's what is he, a senator?
Yeah, he's a senator. He's somewhat attainable,
Alison Brie.
Don't know her.
Oh, come on. Something you're never supposed to say on a TV show? That you've never heard of someone on the list? What's wrong with you? Andy Dick, I think he'd be good.
Yeah, he'd be great.
Arsenio Hall, and then after that it says, if needed.
Yeah, I've never understood. There's about 5 people with parentheses that says if needed, but they're just at random. Makes no sense.
Yeah. Anyway.
Who else on the list, Norm?
Bill Murray. We could take him off the list. No, there's a lot of people.
Any other?
Anne Murray?
Oh, Anne Murray. Who's in? I mean, I know.
Do you know who put Anne Murray on the list, Daniel? Do you even know Anne Murray?
I mean, I've heard the name. I know she was a singer or something. Tell me about Anne Murray.
She's just an old lady. She's like 75. I think she lives in Prince Edward Island or something.
Is that close by or?
No, it's about as far as could be. I don't think there's any 2 points of the North American continent farther than Los Angeles and
Well, I mean,
Spring Hill.
Well, I mean, she's probably available. What do you think she's up to
Oh,
right
she's
now?
available. What's she up to?
Yeah, what do you think she's doing?
walking down the street going, I'm Anne Murray.
So, not a good chance of getting her to fly down here.
No, but anyways, God, this is a huge list. Oh, you know what else there's news in our little life?
Yeah.
That we're going to do that Masters
Right.
live. Explain to the folks what it is, because I did it one time before.
Well, basically, it's people.
Explain to the folks on the
folks at
camera.
home. What you guys can do is tune into the Masters on television there, and you can turn down the volume and listen to Norm and some friends partially commentate the golf and also talk about it. So tune in to the Masters. I believe that's this weekend.
Robert Blake, when he met Steve McQueen, is one of the coolest stories I've ever read. When I read this book, because I'm trying to write a book, they want me to write a book. Anyways, you can tell this guy wrote this. And you can also tell he should have been a writer. And he should have been a poet.
No.
But anyway, he's not here. He's not here. But you know who is here?
No, who's here?
Fred Stoller.
Guy
But
doesn't leave
see,
the
what's
game.
good about this is he's got stories about Steve McQueen. He's got stories about Mickey Rooney, Ava Gardner.
Yeah, one of my favorites of all time, Robert Mitchum.
Robert Mitchum, he's got
What
stories.
an actor.
Fred Stoller also has stories, but nearly half of them are about Dom Irrera.
Well, it says right on the front here, Fred Stoller is always funny. Chris Rock. He's got to
Chris
be good.
Rock?
Yeah.
Fred Stoller is always funny. Well, we'll put that to the test tonight. No, thank God for Fred Stoller.
No, seriously. Oh, he's a hilarious guy.
He's a hilarious guy, and he's got a fascinating story. But also, Fred Stoller was telling me he wants to be on podcasts,
He
like as a
actively-
guest.
Yes.
And he actively tries to get on podcasts.
Absolutely, yes, he does.
And is rejected. Except by us.
Yeah, we're used to be the guys getting rejected.
Yeah. But anyways, he's gonna be great. Oh, also, this is I think exciting. You ever hear? You know, there's a big late night shakeup.
Yeah.
What do you know of that? What do you know?
Well, I
of
know that Leno.
How would you like encapsulate that? You know, without talking too much, and make it for someone who doesn't know anything about this late night shakeup.
Well, I believe what's happening. You mean these specifics? I believe
Yeah.
that Fallon is taking over Leno's
Jimmy
spot.
Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon is taking over Leno's spot, and then Leno is moving over to Fox. I believe. No, he's not moving to Fox.
That's speculative.
Okay, so he may or may not be moving to Fox. He's moving somewhere. And
He's retiring.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
I thought you could encapsulate it for the folks at
No,
home.
you'd be mistaken.
Well, try again, and I'll just correct.
Okay, so I believe Jimmy Fallon is moving to Jay Leno's spot.
Yes, Jimmy Fallon will be the host of The Tonight Show.
Got it. And is anything happening with
Jay
David
Leno
Letterman?
is retiring,
Jay Leno's retiring.
which will leave a spot at 12:30 on NBC.
Okay.
Jimmy Kimmel has the 11:30 spot on ABC.
ABC.
I don't know what follows him. Oh, Nightline, perhaps. Maybe they've flip-flopped.
Right.
Conan
Poor
O'Brien
Conan.
is over on the Dumont Network or some fucking thing. And who else is there? Chelsea Handler beats them all, and no one seems to care. And is there anybody else?
No.
But anyways, the point is, who? Oh, and David Letterman
and Ferguson.
and Craig Ferguson.
Right.
And so David Letterman is 65. Where you used to have to retire, I think. You know, Walter Cronkite had to retire at 65. Isn't that amazing?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
You didn't know that?
I don't know much.
Yeah, at 65, he had to retire because at that time because that was years ago, you know.
Leno's younger than Letterman, right?
He is 62, and Letterman is 65.
Well,
But the problem is, if Letterman retires, CBS doesn't know what to do because they have to put a Scotchman in there, a Scottish guy,
Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson,
Right.
and they're afraid that people, you know, at 11:30, older people, might not want to listen to a Scottish brogue, and also his sidekick is a skeleton.
It is?
You've never seen the
I've
show?
never seen the show.
Well, it's
unfortunately.
fascinating because he just talks. Like he I don't know if he uses writers, but he's a fantastic You've never seen anything like Craig Ferguson. I love him.
It's just a Scotsman talking to a skeleton.
Well, the skeleton is his sidekick is a corpse, which apparently Les Moonves
CBS
has some problems with. He's saying, why not spend the extra money and get a corporeal person? You know what I mean? Sure, you save money, grave robbing every night, because apparently Craig Ferguson has to change because the stench becomes unbearable in the studio after a few days.
I would imagine.
Cut to Craig Ferguson out at the local cemetery with a shovel.
You think they'd spring
old-fashioned grave robbing. But anyways, my point is this. I don't know what to watch anymore.
Well,
with all the shuffling. So I look at Entertainment Weekly because every week this publication, this periodical,
they're an authority on the subject.
Of course, it's Entertainment Weekly.
Tell you what to watch.
So they'll tell you what to watch. So anyways, I'm perusing it.
Okay.
So this is what I found out about the word peruse. You think it means scan, but it actually means reading very carefully.
Oh.
So the next time you're talking to one of your intelligent Hollywood friends, and they say peruse, you go, what the fuck are you talking about? Peruse means to study carefully.
So you studied this carefully.
Yes, and what they have is they have the must list. The top 10 things we love this week, things you must see.
Okay.
And anyways, look at this, number 6. Oh, here it is. It's our show. It's our program.
Shit.
Isn't that bizarre?
What the fuck?
That shouldn't be in their fucking thing.
My name should not be in any publication.
No, that definitely. Did you think that? Like 3 weeks ago when we started,
no.
You were just a filthy bum.
Yeah.
And now these retards put your name in a fucking magazine. It says, the Saturday Night Live alum, I don't know what does that mean?
It means he used to be on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Is using his deadpan charm and irreverence to full effect on his riotous new video podcast where he and co-host Adam Egget, that's you.
Shocking.
Will welcome guests like Russell Brand, Bob, maybe.
We'll have to see.
I think, my theory is this went to press before they found out about Fred Stoller.
I think it's a good possibility.
Russell Brand, he is coming. The great Russell Brand, who I asked for from the first day.
Love Russell.
Because I find him amazing.
Yeah.
And Bob Saget, old friend, and the great Seth Rogen. So look at that, we're number 6.
That's amazing. That's fantastic.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. What does this have to do with late night?
Well, we have a show. We're talking to each other,
right.
and I was looking. I thought, well, maybe you must see. First of all, I don't want you must see it. Really,
right.
Really, Entertainment Weekly.
You don't want anybody telling you
I
what to
don't
do.
want anybody fucking tell me what I must see. You know what I mean?
I know exactly
must see that video. I was going to show you where the girl shoves her foot up that dude's asshole.
I can't get that vision out of my mind. I remember it. Yeah.
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 But anyways, first you're happy. This is the nature of being a human being, right?
Right.
You're like, we're number 6 in the must-see list. But my point was, since none of the other late-night shakeups, I'm starting to think that they want us to move over to one of those spots.
To the late night spots?
Yes.
I don't think that's
Think about it. Think of what would it cost them? 0?
Yeah. Well, there's 0 money put into
We make 0.
Yeah.
So why would they pay $6-7 million for Horatio Sands? Or, I don't know is he up for it?
I have no idea.
Or I read today RuPaul. Honest to God.
Really?
Well, because on the computer, when something happens, they have to write a story. So they're like, 15 people who should have their own talk show. And
Sounds like our fucking list.
RuPaul was on one of them, and Chavez, the guy who fucking just died, I think he was on it. Like, it was very politically correct. It was trying to get everybody.
Yeah, why not us? We're number 6.
We're
on
number
the fucking
6.
Must list.
Yeah. But then you go, who is number 5? That's human nature, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You start getting mad. Like, why are we 6? Why aren't we number 1? Like, you know what number 1 is?
Uh-huh.
Game of Thorns.
It's Thrones.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Sure. Yeah. Well, what the fuck is that? Whoever watched that?
I mean,
now, are you telling me that's better than Norm Macdonald Live?
I mean, I don't want to say it's better than. I mean, a lot of people watch it. It's a pretty popular show.
What's it about? They
It's
have
about,
pictures of
like,
ladies.
Yeah, ladies and knights and kings and midgets and dragons. And
Sounds
stuff.
like my honeymoon.
Who's in our rearview mirror? Who do we have?
What do you mean?
Like, who's behind us on the list?
Oh, behind us on the list?
Who do we got? Kinky Boots.
Kinky Boots
number 8.
is number 8.
Yeah.
Sounds like my honeymoon.
Well, look, 6 isn't a bad place to be. I think I'm just
Except
happy.
for the dragon. There was no dragon.
No, there's a dragon on Game of
No,
Thrones.
in my honeymoon.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
How could there be a dragon
That's a good point.
singeing my fucking balls with their fire? Did you ever think there actually was a dragon when you were a kid?
Absolutely.
Me too.
I thought a lot of things when I was a kid. I
What
still
else?
do. Santa
What was that
Claus
story you
and-
told me when you were a kid? Just before the show?
Are you talking about the airplane story?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I was a kid. I was 13 years old. You're talking about that story?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you must know, I mean, it's a true story. I was
Well,
on
tell the folks at home.
Oh, God, Norm. I was telling you that when I was 13 years old, and we have a news story that we were going to cover, and I wasn't sure if we should, and it's about how they're making airplanes, they're putting more seats on airplanes, and the way they're cutting space is in the bathrooms. And I was concerned, like, where, I thought about where am I going to go to jack off, because I get nervous on flights and stuff. And a lot of people do it. I don't know. But when I was 13, I went in there and I did that. And some lady walked in on me, and she was like 2 seats over, and you just had to stare, just staring at me in disgust for like 5 hours straight. It was a long flight. You sure you want me to talk about? I mean, you really want me to?
It was a different story. But anyway, forget about that. But what is it? They're making this thing smaller? They're too fucking small for me when I wasn't a big fucking fat guy.
I feel like you're gaining weight. Like,
Yeah,
you're on
of
this
course
diet.
I'm gaining
What did
weight.
we eat right before we did the show?
We ate chicken.
Yeah. What kind of chicken?
What was it called? Honey kettle chicken.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
Yeah, a big plate of it.
Yeah. And I asked the girl,
Huge mistake.
I said, why so much for the extra gravy?
Give me like a trough of gravy. I've never seen that much
No,
gravy.
that was a lot of gravy.
You just
I drank
devoured
the
it, too.
gravy.
You really did.
What I do is I eat the chicken and I went to my doctor because I'm getting so many.
Good, you should.
I'm getting so many. That's what's good about this show is I'm getting all this feedback about how huge and fat I am. So I go to the doctor and I tell the doctor, he's like, "Why are you so fat?" And so I said, "I thought it'd be funny. Most guys try to lose weight,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I try to become a huge fat guy." So anyways, he said, "That's not funny. He says that's alarming."
I think it's funny.
I think it's funny
Yeah,
too.
it's pretty funny.
But he said that it's quite alarming and that I'm in a lot of trouble. And I said, "Well, I think it's funny, and I'm the comedian." So I said, "Let's agree to disagree." And then you know what he said?
What?
And I say that a lot.
Yeah, you do. You say that constantly.
Yeah, that's my out.
That's your in and
Especially
your
when
out.
I'm
That's
wrong.
everything.
Especially when I'm wrong.
Right.
I'll argue and argue, and I go, "I guess we have to agree to disagree." Anyways, this fucker, he goes, "No." I go, "What? I thought you had to agree to disagree."
Well, the customer's always right.
He goes, "I will not agree to This is a true story. He goes, "I will not agree to disagree. I will disagree."
What'd you say?
I said, "What's the distinction? I don't understand. Isn't agreeing to disagree the same, essentially, as disagreeing?" "No," says he. "It's not." He says, "If I agree to disagree," he goes, it gives more credence to your side of the argument. He goes, "It sounds like we have two separate arguments, both of which have merit, and then I am saying that some of your points are valid, and you're saying some of my points are valid."
But he's saying that zero.
And he's saying no.
Yeah.
He's saying that would be as unconscionable for him as to agree with a Holocaust revisionist. And I said, "Are you going to bring up the fucking Holocaust every time you give me a physical?" This guy, he's got a tattoo. He's 96. I know his backstory.
I don't even afford to go to the doctor right now.
You can't afford to go to the
I
doctor?
can't afford to go.
Yeah.
Certainly, this isn't gonna fucking. We're number 6 on the must list. I don't know. I'm fucking dying.
Yeah, well, you're a young man. What, do you got any symptoms? I know a lot of stuff.
Bleeding from my anus. Internally, I think. I mean, no, that's not a joke. That's true.
Well, I know it's not a joke.
Yeah. I don't know.
I've been around jokes my whole life.
Right. Well, I mean, I wasn't trying to be funny. That's
I see
true.
what you mean,
Yeah.
So you're.
I'm bleeding internally, I think.
So, what's the color of the blood that's coming out of
Well,
your
the good
anus?
thing is it's not dark. It's not
that's
dark.
good.
It's brighter.
If it's bright red, it's coming from the rectal area.
Oh, okay.
It's not as dangerous.
Well, that's good. I haven't had a physical since I was 16. I'm terrified.
And you're 31?
34. It's been a while.
Yeah.
About 18 years. So hopefully, number 6 on the must list, maybe the money will start coming. I'll be able to see that doctor. You know what I mean?
You're really bleeding from your anus?
Yeah, I really am.
Because you gave up that entire lifestyle that would make me think you were still bleeding from the anus, but you told me you'd given that all up.
You're talking about alcohol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how you love to go to those bars and get real drunk.
Yeah.
And then the next day you'd wake up and you'd be bleeding from the anus.
Well, no, I think it was alcohol related. I think what you're
I'm
implying.
saying.
Okay, good.
No, I'm not implying anything.
Yeah.
You're inferring something, but I'm not implying anything. I'm saying straight out, you would black out.
Oh, yeah.
You'd drink your Wild Turkey 101.
Glenlivet.
You like your Glenlivet.
Yeah.
You like your Jack Daniels.
Sure.
Your Jim Beam.
Absolutely.
Never a lady's name.
No. I never really thought about that.
Yeah. Do they have booze that have ladies' names?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure they do.
Because to me, it's Shirley Temple. I don't think that has booze in it.
Well, they have a Dirty Shirley.
A dirty Shirley
It's like
Temple.
Shirley Temple with vodka in it. I miss booze.
There's this guy, Chance Langton. Do you know him? He's a comic.
No.
But he said when he was a young boy, he loved Shirley Temple. He was 5 and she was 5. The next year, he saw her in a mall. He was 6, she was 50.
I blacked out. I didn't even hear the whole fucking thing.
I know you blacked out because I can feel the droplets of blood.
As soon as we started talking about Glenlivet, I just kind of went to another place. It's been 10 months and I'm just like...
10 months?
Yeah.
That you've been off?
Yeah.
You've been off the sauce.
Off the sauce.
The booze.
Off the booze.
I wonder how long you'll last.
Well, fuck, Norm. I mean, hopefully a while.
Not many do.
I mean, I quit, you know?
Whoop-de-doo! We're going to have Fred Stoller out next.
I'm looking forward to...
Did you read the book?
I didn't read the book.
Oh, come on.
Well, I was reading the fucking Robert Blake book. I thought we were
Can't you
going to get
pretend
Robert.
that you read the book?
Not now.
Well, no, because you just admitted you didn't read it.
I know.
Well, anyway, we'll have the great Fred Stoller out, and what
He's
else? We're going
hilarious.
to talk about what?
We're going to talk about some news stories, and we got jokes later.
Yeah, of course, we always have our jokes, you
Yeah.
know, because
They're
really,
coming less and less now, I'll be honest.
without the jokes,
Yeah.
you know. But Fred Stoller will be with us when we return, and let's not talk about your ass and shit all the time.
No, I don't want to talk about
It's unseemly. It's unsettling. It's both unsettling and unseemly to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I do. I mean, you brought up health and you asked about my health. I was just trying to be honest. You know?
Yeah, but you're as fit as a fiddle.
Sure, let's go with that.
Well, you are. I think you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fred Stoller when we come back.
Say it to the camera.
Fred Stoller when we come back. Like that.
Okay, Fred, look right in the camera, say hello, tell your video date a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I live on the edge. Musicker is his name. Nothing matters to me. I am nuts. You know what I did today? I drank milk that expired yesterday. I don't care. Life's too short. I live for today. Okay, also, you know what I did? I was at a deli, I bought an apple. I ate it right there without washing it first. You heard me right. I'll do it again. I don't care.
So that was a video that Fred Stoller, our first guest, made years and years ago. And to put it in context, Rodney Dangerfield had...
A real one.
Oh, here's Fred.
You wanted to show it because you thought it was a good thing. You forgot.
I
you
forgot.
confused it with Rappin' Rodney.
Yes, because I knew that it was based on Rappin' Rodney.
I was pathetically thinking, how do I launch myself? I'm not just a schmucky actor. You got to be proactive, like Rocky, and write a script. And that's what I wrote.
Do you want me to read your intro?
I'm sorry. Sure.
No, do you want me to? We don't have to.
Whatever.
Tonight's guest is a great comedian.
Who made this go from number 6 on the must list to off it.
No. He played Gerard on Everybody... Was it Gerard? You had a French name? I saw the show. He played Gerard on Everybody Loves Raymond and has been in very funny movies like Goldmember,
I had one line, yeah.
the Wayans Brothers' Little Man.
From the people, it was advertised from the people who brought you white chicks. That was the thing on the marquee, and then Little Man. Then when they did the next one, they didn't mention Little Man in the next Wayne Brothers movie.
And Dumb and Dumber, of course.
Classic.
That was classic, and your scene was classic. He also plays a cat in the open season animated films. You don't?
No, it was a DVD. Yes, I forgot. Yes,
You did do that?
but I didn't get a copy, so I forgot I was a cat. They sometimes send you a copy.
What do you mean you played a cat? You did a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember when they had these it's your introduction. I
I'm
was gonna tell
still,
you
there's a
stories, I'm
long
sorry.
introduction.
Yeah, it's
His new book is called Maybe We'll Have You Back. Maybe We'll Have You Back, The Life of a Perennial TV Guest Star. Okay, so that's your introduction. I didn't write it.
I keep spelling perennial wrong and spell check.
Perennial's a hard word to write.
And I should know it because it's the title that I made up.
Yeah.
And this is like I always. I don't know.
I'm
why
just
I'm
reading
laughing.
your blurbs, but go
Okay.
ahead. Talk to Adam Egget for a second.
Thank you.
Of course, I'm just happy you're here.
I'm just.
I'm going to read the blurbs.
Okay.
This is from Jeff Garland, actor/comedian. Is he a comedian?
Yeah, he does stand up.
He would know. You manage the comedy
That's
store.
right, yeah, he's
so
there a lot.
You go to him. He tells you.
Freddie Stoller, he says, is smart and handsome.
He's saying that in like,
An
hey, you're
ironic-
handsome. He's not really thinking I'm handsome.
He's basically calling you ugly.
Yes, he's more like, hey, handsome man. He does this thing where you say
As a
hi.
matter of fact, the handsomeness gets in the way of the smart and funny. He keeps calling you ugly. While reading this book, I couldn't help but think of Freddie's good looks. This is
He didn't
drenched
read it.
in irony. He's calling you
Yeah.
ugly 3 times. So that's not much.
No, but
Jay Moore, Fred is as good at writing jokes as anyone in the business in any era.
I think it was the 40s before they did topical jokes when people just slipped.
He's also quite an underrated storyteller. I didn't know that. I thought you were always known as a great storyteller.
Well, maybe because you only.
I've
my
heard you
stories.
called a poor man's Mike Birbiglia.
Mike Birbiglia.
What is it?
Birbiglia.
Have you ever heard yourself called a poor
I was
man's Mike
called-
Birbiglia?
I was
At
called
least
the-
you can pronounce your fucking last name.
I was called the poor man's Emo Phillips.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, they flew me. Remember the show London Underground?
Sure, I did that.
They fly you.
With that Henry guy.
I don't remember.
There was a
like-
black guy and a white guy when I did it.
I did a white guy, and they fly you out.
Wasn't the one Dennis Leary hosted for a while?
Yeah, but I didn't do that one. So they fly you out, $5,000 first class, and
I remember that because we made nothing.
Yes.
You'd go, they give you $300 at evening at the Improv.
Right.
Or Improv Tonight or Improv, they had like
Well,
5
this is-
improv shows. But the English guys, they didn't know. So they would fly us first class, right?
They
Stay
got
a
us.
week in London.
and then they yeah, I remember like they had me follow Emo Phillips, and I went late in the thing, and I'm bombing, and I'm going. They think like another American guy doing this guy, but a bad version because he's really I'm weird, and
And he's probably big in England.
yeah. Do you remember we were at a place, Swingers, not like a crazy thing, but the restaurant, right?
When we met Emo?
And he was cursing me out because I stopped doing stand-up, remember?
Yes.
He goes, how you fucking spit on the ultimate high, the ultimate thing. You know, because I disrespected stand-up, because how could you not want to do the ultimate thing? I said, I'm doing guest spots. I work with Peter Boyle and Charles Durning. He goes, that's great. Wow. Okay. You do? So then all of a sudden he went back to the emo voice. Do you remember that?
Well, I remember, and also Emo, I saw him once and he had, I didn't, it was probably the same time. I didn't recognize him because he had
Because he had a
gray hair.
girlfriend.
He had a girlfriend.
Said,
He got married.
But yeah, he said, you can't do this, you know. I've had some girlfriends go, I don't want to be known as the woman.
Because for the people at home, they should know, Emo Phillips,
he went,
dressed
hi, I'm
like,
Emo.
he let everybody, his dress and his hairstyle
It
was
was
that
like,
of
what was it, the Dutch boy?
a retard, a Dutch boy or a retard.
Yeah, and he'd have overalls and go like this.
Yeah, and he go, "Oh, yeah." But his jokes were fantastic.
Great. And he, "Ah." And some people would go, I bumped into Emo, he did his real voice. I talked to him.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, that's a big honor.
Somebody told me he did a number of characters before falling upon that one. Did you ever hear that?
No. Is it like Dennis Miller, who was a juggler first, or did props? Did you ever hear that?
No.
I never
Yes,
heard
he
that.
did props in Pittsburgh.
Really?
And, yeah, and then all of a sudden,
Wow.
yes, a lot of people, like, you know, did things. And then, you know, Dice Clay, you heard that story.
No.
He was doing a little, he did like Jerry Lewis turns into the Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
And he did, you know,
Well, I
Saturday
always
Night
thought
Fever.
that because he loves Jerry Lewis, and
Yeah,
I
and-
watched that Nutty Professor like a couple of years ago, and that character Buddy Love is
That's- yeah.
almost exactly, even the way he lights a cigarette.
Then he said, oh, this Dice thing and I pathetically tried being the thrill seeker, going, none of this is working. I'll do a video. It'll be just like Rappin' Rodney. But the difference was Rodney Dangerfield is a superstar.
Yeah.
I was a schmuck walking around the Beverly Center and going home and napping.
Yeah.
And, you know, and no one knew the thrill seeker. And he had stars. He had Pat Benatar and Rappin'
Yeah.
Rodney. So it was different.
Yeah.
It was, this was.
So let's talk about Dice. Did you start? You
I
knew
was
Dice.
saying-
You were in New York. Though.
No, Pips. There was a club, Pips. Did you ever hear of that?
Yeah, I've heard of
It was like David Brenner helped start it. He gave money.
Styx Brenner?
What?
No, I went to his pool hall, and it has all the greatest pool players
Get
in the world
outta
in
here.
pictures. But then one is him, and it says Styx
Well,
Brenner.
it's funny because he's like a skinny guy like me, right? But he, when I worked on the Brenner show, he decided he was a tough guy. Oh, when I was, well, that's not his voice. Hey, funny, no, like, funny. What are you doing? What are you crazy? Yeah, I punched the guy in the head. You know, you didn't know that David Brenner was trying to be a
I didn't know he was being
tough
a tough
guy.
guy. No,
Yeah.
no. Colin Quinn told me about Andrew Dice Clay that when he had already crested and was kind of falling down, Colin said, "What if you just change your image completely, and I'll write you jokes, but
Right.
they'll be very high tone jokes." So that I can't do an impression, but he'd be like, "Hey, I was reading the Cahiers de Cinema the other day. You can't go wrong with Jean-Luc Godard." Oh!
Well, you know who really did that? Bobcat Goldthwait. He was the guy.
That's true. He escaped his personality.
No. But then he decided to do jokes about gun control and being liberal.
But with the voice.
But he was doing it and made no sense. You know, why? If I have an NRA membership, I can't do it. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, he did
But
do
he goes,
that.
and if I'm an NRA member, can the I can't think of an example. But remember?
Oh yeah,
He
definitely.
was
Can you do him? Like do a serious
Bobcat,
political joke by Bobcat, but he's still stuck in it because he still does stand up, but he's very good.
Right.
He'll go into the
One of the
thing.
funniest guys around. But yeah, he had that short period of time, I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
where he did very serious anti-Reagan jokes and stuff. And,
But as the
how
guy-
many people? I can't do him either.
How many?
have to
All I know
buy-
is if he's the guy with the hand on the button, I'm going. How am I doing that?
It seems like one of us should be able to do him.
Yeah.
He'd be a great guest.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because
That's
I like.
what I'm here to help you think of better people. I'm here. Or
Wow. I like that you want to get on podcasts,
the
but
saddest. The saddest thing was, this book. Don't worry. I did a thing, a Kindle single, which helped this. Called my Seinfeld.
can't. Now
Year.
explain to the folks what a Kindle single is.
Okay, folks. There was I had this book for, I shouldn't say it took 10 years, that because people go, whatever. I had it. It sat in my computer, and publishers, they'd go, we want more sex, and I go, yeah, I want more sex too, or they go, we want a happier ending. One person go, we like it, it's a quirky, fun story, but
You said, I'd like a happier ending too.
yeah, they
You
go.
just kept doing
They
that
thought
joke?
I went from show to show, and then I'm on Parks and Recreation. Here I am,
I see.
home
Right,
at last.
right.
You know what I mean? It was just more walking around the Grove at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but no,
Well, don't tell the ending.
no. It's a happy.
But we're talking before this. We're talking about the Kindle single.
Okay, so basically.
Because this is not a Kindle single.
No.
Okay, so what? I'll tell you. Freddie has 2 books.
No.
He has one which is a Kindle single,
think
which is not technically a book.
No.
So first, what's a Kindle single?
It's this thing where it's on Amazon, where they're mini books, not a magazine, bigger than a magazine
Bigger
article.
than a magazine article.
Smaller than a book.
But smaller than a book.
And so I sent this book.
It's for people who a magazine article is not enough for them. Like when they finish a magazine article, they're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now?
But they go, but I don't want a book.
But a book?
A book would be too much.
Jesus.
But boy, was that not
right.
I want something in the middle.
So it's something between like David Sedaris talking about how
Charlton Heston and their lovers.
and
But they weren't, but that was a joke.
but that was about how he was Charlton Heston's lover.
Yeah, I tried reading Sedaris. They go, you got it, and I keep trying, and I just never get past the hey, me and him.
One time I remember they were asking Larry Miller, you know the comedian Larry Miller,
I know the comedian Larry Miller.
who his biggest influence was in comedy. He said James Thurber.
He's a humorist.
As a
Well,
humorist.
speaking of humorists, I could connect it to Kindle single. So I had this book already in my computer. And the guy goes, hey, this is good, but it's more than a Kindle. How could this be a Kindle single? So there was a chapter about writing on Seinfeld and not fitting in and being a schmuck. And so I said, you know the movie My Favorite Year?
Sure.
Mine's called My
movie.
Seinfeld Year because it wasn't that. Because I wasn't the best year.
Yeah.
Here I'm the best show in TV and it's great, which I guess I didn't even see.
I didn't see that. I mean,
I didn't see the movie either. I keep referring
No,
to-
I saw My Favorite Year.
Yeah. No, My Seinfeld Year.
My Seinfeld Year, I never saw that as. I never realized that was what it was.
It probably
playing off of.
wasn't.
It would work a lot better if Seinfeld rhymed with favorite.
Norm, you're in this book a lot.
What?
You're in this book a lot.
No,
Do you guys
no.
have some bad blood or something?
What?
No,
There's
wait.
one chapter here simply titled "Norm Stole My Jacket."
No. That's a euphemism for he had me back. He had my back when I worked on his show.
Oh, all right, that makes sense. I guess.
Yeah. He.
I've not read your book because I was reading Robert Blake.
I like the.
But I told him to read your book so that one of us
He
would
did
have
tell
read
me
your
to read your
book.
book. He did. I'm not. Gonna lie.
But this will be great, actually, because you can tell us now stories from the book that we
Yeah,
haven't
you
read.
have some
We'll be
fantastic. Every time I
surprised.
hear you on a podcast, and you've done a lot. You're always a solid guest, and I'd love to hear some.
You're doing like he's going. Do what you do on the other ones. Be better.
No, in all
Paul
seriousness,
Prevent-
I heard you on the Todd Glass one. I was laughing my ass off. I'll be honest, that's the only
So
one I
can we
listened to.
play
But
clips of that, and I can lip sync them.
no, you have great stories.
you,
have
thank you
great
so
stories.
much,
You were
thank
telling
you.
us some great stories.
Okay.
No, but that's not how you.
I'm saying he was. No, what I'm
But
saying
that's
is he
like
does
when
have
Paul
great
Prevent had that
stories.
show Comics Only. Hey, this is not stand-up, this is conversation. So, you go on the road a lot. Yeah, what do? We watch TV. You know that one commercial, AIDS, but it's not AIDS because of the disease, so they changed it. And, or...
He'd want to set you up for your.
Oh,
What about the time? This was what I heard because I was on Byron Allen's Comics Unleashed.
and they say, go crazy.
They go crazy. And the comics could.
they're all
You could
doing
not
the
have been
bits.
more leashed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you had to submit your jokes to 6 different levels before they. But then he had no ability to segue. So it's like, Robert Schimmel, what's going on with you? He's like, what's going on with me? I'm fucking my own niece, and I'm dying of brain cancer and all this. And then he goes, oh man, Norm, I understand you have a dog. And so none of it would segue. But the funniest question is, He said to John Lovitz, this was his question. He goes, he's reading off a card. He goes, now, John, I understand you're growing older.
That was the segment producer did that for him. Well, I was on Paul Preventa had one called Comics Only.
Yes,
and it
Fred
was
Wolf was the
sidekick who people still think I am. Andy Dick still goes, hey, Fred, you got that movie with Spade? I go, yeah, it's going good. I never correct him. You know, he thinks I'm writing to people think I'm Geechee Guy. Which
Whoa!
yeah, which is a compliment. You know, the people.
Geechee Guy, I did Comics Only. No, what was it called? The
A-list?
The A-list. Only the top 5,000 comics got on there.
Right. And they used to call it a list.
No, this was at the Laugh Factory, the one that Wayne Cotter.
Oh, you got to. This is what I guess that sets him up for great stories.
No,
the plane ride with Wayne Cotter.
With what?
The plane ride you took with Wayne Cotter.
Oh, that was
Wayne Cotter
funny.
was hosting.
I forgot about that.
All right, I'm stealing his story. He was hosting Comic Strip Live, which is on Saturday night, and then they're going to.
It ran from 11 till midnight on Fox.
Right, so they're going to Montreal Comedy Festival, and someone.
But explain to the folks, this was a show, just like all those other shows, where it was 4 comics would do their stand-up act, and you would have an MC, right?
Do you remember?
And the MC was Wayne Cotter.
And the evening at the Improv was on twice a night on the history. No, on A&E.
Yes.
It was like during jury duty. You would have to do all these shows you didn't want to do. So they're talking about Saturday Night Live, and his show is again. He goes, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's in the news?" And he brings up comics, and so then he.
So Chris Farley had the Saturday before done the Chippendale sketch.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you made the story better because you were there. So I'm.
And I wasn't on Saturday Night Live either.
No, but someone was saying.
So we were discussing, me and Wayne Cotter on the plane.
Did you see? Come on, please. Well, I didn't.
He
indicate
left
it
to the
better.
bathroom. I said to Wayne Cotter, did you see Farley last week? He did this Chippendale sketch where he was a dancer. It was the funniest thing I ever seen. And then he got up in a huff and went to the bathroom. And then his wife said, you know that's his competition.
Okay, I did it wrong.
Because
Saturday Night Live is the competition. To the
Yeah,
guy
or I thought it was
MC.
like we don't talk about it.
yeah.
You know, yeah.
And then I asked, just recently, I said, whatever happened to Wayne Cotter, to Jamie Masada? And he said, he on the computer now. That's not how he talked.
Every time you do Jamie,
I sound like a
it's always
child.
an
I was
age
going to say to you, if anyone's giving you shit about being a bad sidekick,
Well, that's true.
Dom, there's someone worse than you.
Go on.
You know, it's when people go to me, you think you're a fucking retard. I left my keys in the car. You think you hate yourself. I don't think I hate myself. You think you're a schmuck. Yesterday, I smacked myself in the head. Or, you know, so there's Jamie Masada, to the people out there, is a club owner. I don't know how he became a multi-millionaire, but he's like Borat, you know. Hey, buddy, we have, and he can't say English. He goes, we have Dom. He manages Dom Herrera. He can't say his name. Dom in the Manera. So he has a podcast where he's trying to tell stories about me writing on Seinfeld, and he
Right,
sits
at the
there
Laugh Factory,
and he
right?
interrupts. He goes, Freddie had sex with. He's not innocent. He had sex with just no condoms. There's little Freddies around. And we're trying to, now like Dom had it set up, we're going to talk about Bruce Smirnoff, who you wrote your Seinfeld about, and you have to take out. He goes, Freddie, he not innocent, he walk out, and see, you don't drive and stuff.
I don't drive, no.
But I remember the worst thing about doing the Laugh Factory is I was bombing. And fuck you, and you know they're screaming back at me. Oh, this guy's a retard, you know. So then I curse them back out.
Yeah.
Then I'm waiting behind them online for my car for the valet, and I'm like there. Or the worst is, did you ever do a cruise and you're stuck with the people on the boat?
No.
I had to hide in a cabin because I'm eating. They go, there's the comedian eating alone. You don't want to eat alone. I go, yeah, I do, and you know. So like I'm bombing, you know, because they want like jugglers or people, you know,
Right.
with the unicycles, and I'm bombing. So I just throw out jokes. Hey, here's a joke you like. What? You know, I got fired from the orange juice company because I couldn't concentrate. Or you know, just hey, here's one you like. You know why the monkey fell out of the tree? Because he was dead. So someone would go, you know, the only good joke you did, the monkey one. You know, so yeah, I was hiding in
never
the
did a
cabin.
cruise.
Oh, it's as awful as you.
But when
think
you
it
were
would be.
talking about the Laugh Factory and, you know, when they were yelling at you, and heckling. I remember one time I watched Jimmy. You know Jimmy. Remember Jimmy Brogan,
His
the
act
great
was,
Jimmy
"Hi,
Brogan.
where you from?" Well, sorry to interrupt. He for a while was booking the Tonight Show.
Yeah. For a
So he
while.
would do his set, and then he's coming off his set and he's judging you. So you're not in a state of mind to
No.
go. He's good for the Tonight Show.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
And he left. All he had to do was help Jay pick the jokes, and he left.
He did it still 11 years.
That's a good job.
Don't quit. The guy with the best job was Ed Hall. He quit. He was the announcer.
quit?
He goes, this isn't showing what I could do. He wanted to be in video remotes, and he was probably just came in and go, I don't know you. I can't do an impression of Ed Hall.
Yeah.
You people think I could.
But Jimmy Brogan was the cleanest guy ever.
Yes.
Like he never would swear.
Right.
And one time I saw him and he wasn't doing well and he was being heckled. But he had great jokes. Like you go, the 98, you go, now they have the 98-cent store, What is this for? People who think they're being gouged at the 99-cent store? And then the guy goes, why don't you suck my cock? And then he's like, very nice, sir, very nice.
Well,
Wait, do you talk to your mother like that, sir?
Well, he would go on stage with a sweater and some books. And one time, Gilbert,
Books?
Like holding books for some reason. And one time, Gilbert Gottfried at the not Comedy Store, Catch a Rising Star, as a joke, went on with his sweater and followed him. And Brogan would just ask people where they're from. Hey, where you from? Oh yeah. What do you do? Get fucked in the ass with dough? Hey, were you from Cleveland? Hi, there's a lot of fags there. Jimmy goes, give me my sweater back. He was doing Brogan's bad brother. I know. I should tell stories. I keep thinking of things with you. Like we did the Norm show.
The Norm show.
Yeah, sure.
And I said, let's get Freddie. They do this very humiliating thing.
Where they make you audition for
Where
people
they
who
make
know you.
you audition. And at the time, Roseanne had gotten Tom a show, which was even worse because every day, because it was all really old character actors. So you'd see M. Emmett Walsh and Jack Warden and these guys, you go, they have to audition?
Oh.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so I'd say, like with a character actor, why, don't you know? So I'd say, just give Fred the job. No, we want to humiliate him.
We
They
want to
didn't
see
say
how
that.
he could be a
ridiculous.
pathetically shy guy who can't talk.
Yeah, he played a shy guy on my show, The Norm Show,
Yeah, sure, the Norm Show.
who couldn't talk.
And I remember the only time I ever kissed a woman on a TV show was you convinced me to have confidence. So I grabbed Laurie Metcalf like I'm raping her and threw her down and started kissing her. Do you remember that?
You mean in real life?
No. On the show, I went, hi, I'm William. I have energy now. And I just grabbed her. No, not in real life.
No, I meant
part of the show.
As part of the show, I meant, but in front of an audience or during
Yeah.
rehearsals?
No.
Oh, you mean so my character,
Your
Norm.
character, Norm.
Oh.
I remember people think he's. The writers would always go, I got your character, like you push a woman down the steps, or you're a
No.
degenerate, you're a
Yeah.
piece of shit,
was
you're a lowlife.
About me?
Yes. they
Yeah, it was
think
always
that's
a
your
very
character.
insulting.
Yeah.
The writers, they go, I got one right up your alley. You ass rape a lady. And I'm like, what? What? What is it, Fred?
No, I was gonna. Nothing. It's you
We're back
lead.
with Fred Stoller.
I did another podcast, and people in the chat room, which I don't read anymore, they got mad at me for interrupting Chris Hardwick. So I fuck
that would
this guy.
seem to be a good thing to do.
I don't know
I
Dr. Who,
don't.
but I pretended.
No, I love Chris Hardwick.
Yeah, I know.
You got Tom Snyder?
the dead guy. No, he created Dr. Katz, a different Tom Snyder.
Well, he says Fred is funny and unique, but still an everyman trying to get ahead. We can all relate to. What is this fucking shit? But anyway,
Did we sell the book? Did anything
book
seem
is
interesting?
cool.
It's like I always love those athletes in the D League that go from show to show, which is not.
Yeah,
it's my
yeah.
thing. So like the guys in Europe that are getting the 10-day contract, they're trying to get back, and the show, and I've never been a regular, and who's mean to me, and on
Yeah.
what shows, and
Yeah.
who stole my jacket on what show, and just all the dirt of. And it's funny, like they said we want more sex, and when I first got rejected, I forgot I had sex with Kathy Griffin, so I just threw that in.
you had sex with Kathy Griffin?
I kind of think so.
What happened?
Why have we been talking about this for the last 40 minutes?
Okay, this is better than Quentin Tarantino. who
No,
had
actually,
sex
right.
with her too, I think. A lot of people. I'm sorry.
What happened?
Well, should I tell the Kathy Griffin story? Or?
Yeah, you had sex
absolutely.
with her?
Well, in defense of her, I could have, but I got yelled at, so I got nervous with the erection. No, what is how do you want me to tell the story? Chronologically?
Yeah.
Or, because I haven't been good chronologically. We had things, and I went off the rails, because you don't know what you're going to get with me.
No,
All
but
right.
start with like.
Where I met her?
Well, that's going way back. But
Okay.
sure.
This was 92.
Did you have sex with her that night or like years later?
2 nights later.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
92, she was, I like curly redheads.
Yeah.
Because, you know, why we're
The
attracted.
girl from News Radio?
Yes, I had a crush on her, and I asked her out, and it turned out she was living with Nick Nolte. So you always go from Nick Nolte living in a mansion in Malibu to Fred Stoller in an apartment with no air conditioning by the
Yeah,
Grove, you know. It's like she looked at me like, do you know what my life is? Okay. But yeah, I like that kind of stuff. Excuse me. So Kathy Griffin actually liked me, I thought. Like, I'm at this party, and she's looking at me. She goes, oh, you're yellow light, you're drinking a beer, proceed with caution. Yellow light means proceed with caution, and she did that. Like Rain Man. Well, no, she only said it once. She didn't go yellow light. But she was talking to me.
Yeah.
It's, you know, one of those parties up a hill where you can't get parking.
Yeah.
So she says, drive me to my car, and she started kissing me. You know, I like when people bludgeon me, make it easy.
Yeah.
So she gave me, but then she actually did want to hit me. So then we had a date, and this is before she made it, 92, so it was like a little apartment. And you're trying to decide where to go, do we eat? And then she goes, I'm wet. So that made it very easy to, like, you know, do what I did to Laurie Metcalf, like take her down and start kissing.
Wow.
You know, I like, she's the only woman ever said before the date, I'm wet. That's the way I think it's good.
that'd be
People go,
positive.
I like to play the game. It's like chess and a jigsaw. Fuck that. Make it easy. She made it too easy. So Kathy Griffin, so we started, you know, messing around, but she just saw a TV movie about a woman who battered men, and she goes, I'd like to hit men. Could I hit you in the face? And I was thinking, I have TMJ, I was assaulted, I have ligament damage, it's not a good idea. I already was hit in the face. And
During sex?
Yeah, or just lying around.
She wanted to hit you in the face seriously?
But it was a joke, as my mother used to say, a lot of truth is said in jest. She used to always say that. I go, Ma, you know, leave me, you know, when I would do jokes on things. I go, it's a joke, Ma, stand up. It's a lot of truth is said in jest. So Kathy
It is
Griffin,
a weird thing to say.
yeah, so she
Just with the two of you.
she wanted a hit and stuff, and she this is what she said. She goes, I have anger against men. I go, why? She goes, they rape, they go to strip clubs, and they see porno. I made a joke. I said, I only do 2 out of 3. And so then it was sort of sex meeting because I'm not good with condoms. I don't mean to get graphic, and I did. See, I'm an older guy. I grew up before AIDS was invented or
Right.
whatever. I
One of the
remember.
worst inventions ever.
I know. I remember it was one of those things, someone's talking about herpes,
Yeah, and
and
then
they go, there's another thing.
Dr. Gerald AIDS with his fucking idea.
Yeah, and the AIDS, Andy had to go away for the Provenza show. So I remember someone said, there's a thing called AIDS I heard about. It's going to be really bad where you can't have sex, everyone will be dying. And I'm neurotic, but I never get scared about the bird flu or North Korea. I go, come on.
Yeah.
I'm more neurotic about, you know, you throwing me off this and stuff, you
Yeah,
know.
okay.
So I couldn't with the, so meaning we would have had sex, but we did things.
But you can't put on a condom. You can't
I
wear a
can.
condom.
I
You
say,
can't, you just can't.
No, some women I can. They always go, it's okay. I'm going, wait a minute. If you're very slippery, wet with a condom, they're always making it like either they're yelling at me, they're mad I can't, or they're going,
You
I
can't what?
understand. A lot of men can't do it, but
Can't do
but,
what?
Well, you're pushing. It's too late. We did curse, right?
Yeah.
You're pushing, but it falls apart like an accordion because
What does?
the penis.
You can't maintain
Maintain
an
an
erection.
erection with a condom on.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Oh, and I have. A lot of women are very slippery. If it's whoosh, you know,
Right.
you could do it. But you know what I'm saying. But
But did you ever have it where, because I thought you told me at one point you tried to push it up, but then it got bendy and it went like that.
what?
Yeah,
Is
you
that
took-
the joke where I can't find my car keys?
And that wasn't a joke. You told me you tried to push your cock into the Kathy Griffin, but it got all bendy like a big snake or something.
I don't remember telling you this because this is the first you're hearing about Kathy Griffin.
That's true.
And I like how ballsy I am. Like I go after Kathy Griffin, like America's sweetheart. Like people go, "Are you scared, Kathy Griffin?" And someone who talks goes on Howard Stern saying Brooke Shields' mother was drunk at Brooke Shields' wedding. You know what I mean?
No, I like one time before Chelsea Handler was big, but she'd written that book.
You had sex with Chelsea Handler?
No, I love Chelsea Handler. I think she's hilarious.
No,
but I was at a comedy club, and the comedy manager and waiters were all mad. They were like, that Chelsea Handler was here last week. She didn't fuck any of us. I was like, well, it's her act.
Well, Norm, when we did stand-up, do you remember a woman would tell you a really dirty joke? Hey, the best thing about licking cocks is this, and you make, get out of here. Right. Did you ever have that, Adam?
Have I ever heard what?
A woman tells you a really dirty joke, and you think something, meaning she's dirty and messes around.
Oh, I see what
I
you mean.
see what
I'm
you
sorry.
mean.
I
Yeah,
misunderstood.
Tells you the dirtiest joke.
I get it.
And they're in bed, and I love dirty jokes.
Because Dice told me once, he said, if a girl comes up to me or you, Fred Stoller, or me, Norm MacDonald, after a show and says she liked our act, that doesn't mean much. But if they go up to Dice...
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Well, one
the
time,
content.
someone came up to me and Gilbert Gottfried and said, I want to be your groupie. You guys, I love you too. Oh, great. You going to fuck us? She goes, no. And then he started spitting at her.
Oh, good God.
Well, no, through the window, to be fair. Catch a Rising Star. He went outside and started spitting at the window, and she cried.
Yeah.
Because that's the one she wanted to... she looked up to and she spit. But you have had that, or maybe, I want to be a groupie.
Have you ever had a girl in bed that wants you to spit on her face?
No.
That's what someone, have you ever had that?
No.
Someone just told, have you ever heard of it?
No.
Well, someone told me it's the next big thing. It was Daniel Kellison. He said his wife likes when his wife demands that
But that's on porno movies.
It might just be in Daniel Kellison's real life, but he says his wife demands that he spit on her face
During sex or in general?
and
outside, at pavilions.
imagine that she's blowing a big African American. Anyways, whatever. Listen,
Well, all right.
I'm not one to tell tales out of school.
But just to be fair,
But Daniel's having a little boy, and we're real happy.
but
about
I
it.
just want to be fair to Kathy Griffin.
Yes.
She dumped me, and I was hurt, so I was attracted to her and liked seeing her naked. So, but then when they get their hair straight, don't like it. So I'm being fair.
How's her C
She's
list?
very funny. Well, that's another thing. My life on the D list. She's
Oh,
got
the
a big
D list?
mansion. And I'm the D list.
Yeah.
That's not the D list.
No.
Just because she's not,
So this is the section where we do the news,
Okay.
We don't.
and then we
I
make comments.
just want to say I'm the best joke writer in any era, so I can.
Yeah, it says it right here on this book.
Any era.
I saw your stand-up. I thought it was freaking hilarious.
There's
Very
only,
top.
there's
I
only
love that.
been like maybe 3 eras that have joke writers, I think.
What?
Well, there hasn't been since the dawn of time.
Well, we saw a one-man show of Charles Nelson Riley
yeah,
where he was
God.
talking about the first time he saw laughter and he was pretending he was crying because he was reliving when he learned about the invention of laughter. Do you remember that?
Yes, me and Freddie went to see the one-man show of Charles Nelson
I'm
Riley.
killed to see this.
The guy never brings up Match Game.
Or being gay.
Was he gay?
Maybe no, that was Paul Lynn. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't be shocked if Charles Nelson Riley was.
But he just talking about a theater burning down and 150 people died, and he held up the news article to prove it happened.
Yeah.
And the first time he saw laughter, and he cried because he was.
He did.
So laughter was invented many years ago.
Yes.
In any
He
era.
was on. If you watch Match Game now, it's clear that they're making inside jokes about Charles Nelson Riley. When back in the 70s when it started, you didn't know because nobody knew about gay. They just thought he was a character.
Oh, I thought that about Paul Lynn as a kid.
And Paul Lynn. But if you watch Match Game now, it's like Brett Summers, but they'll do these sly little references like, it'll be like Peter Marshall will go, "You like it up the fucking asshole." No, not that.
Milton Berle and stuff.
All right, so let's do the news.
So, well, we don't have a lot of time for the news. I thought maybe we'd do a couple quick stories. I got.
This isn't like a thing where the view is. I mean,
No,
like.
unfortunately, it is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's real.
It's live.
I'm sorry. I didn't know it was scheduled. I'm sorry, guys.
We're on the computer right now.
Oh no!
This
Trust
is
me.
the only
This is
podcast I ever did where there was a call sheet.
Trust me. What you were talking about is much better than
It was
most of the
crazy.
stories we're not going to do. And trust me,
No.
way better.
I've been interrupting.
But there's one piece here I thought you might find interesting. Is Joan Rivers. You were talking about some old
Joan
comedians.
Rivers.
She's old.
She's old, but she's great.
Just kidding.
Still
I was doing
great.
it.
Yeah, still great. But she makes her living, lambasting celebrities.
What'd she do?
She
Lamb what?
basting,
Lambasting?
celebrities, and
We might want to put a hard thing over the A.
I apologize.
That's
I'm
all
trying
right.
to rush through this. We don't have a lot, and I.
All right, we'll spell it all phonetically from now on.
I did that with one of the guys' names. Here.
Okay, we'll get to it.
She lambasted the Adele.
I love
the
Adele.
British
You ever
pop
heard Adele?
singer Adele.
I heard of her, and I
Voice like
great pipes
she has great pipes.
and lungs too.
Oh, she's a good singer. Yes.
and lungs too.
Rivers.
lungs, Would only work if she was a pipe smoker. What? Okay, good.
I'm doing my
Anyway,
voice
Joan
now.
Rivers, she called Adele, who's 24 years old, chubby while visiting David Letterman on The Late Show.
Oh,
And wisecracked. She sang live and said, my throat, I don't know if I can swallow. And I said, oh, you can swallow.
oh, come on.
What is her song? Rolling in the Deep? She should add fried chicken.
This is what she said on the
This is what
Letterman?
Joan Rivers said on Letterman about Adele. Rivers didn't back down from her comments, though she revealed Adele confronted her about it. She's a chubby lady who's...
Okay, I don't want to hear any more of this because Adele is one of my most favorite people.
Really? You
Well,
do love
she's
Adele.
talented, she's rich, and she's almost as fat as me. I like, I'm a big fat guy now. I don't want to be seen with thin ladies, Then people will think it's, but look, I know it's wrong to objectify women. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But in our sexual fantasies, I think we do, as men, objectify women, don't we? I always think of Adele, like down on her hands and knees with an apple in her mouth.
So, but that's better.
Better than what?
That's objectifying her.
Yes, I'm saying I think we do that as men.
Okay.
We objectify women, don't we?
Yeah.
What? Don't we? I like Adele. Is there anything wrong with that?
Hey, I like the ladies.
I like Adele. I like a woman who knows her way around a funnel cake.
I thought the joke was.
What about Josie?
How about the joke should be Adele was mad at Joan Rivers and crushed her. Tipped over and fell on her. Hey, don't mention that name.
I would love to see Adele in concert.
Oh, I thought it was a sexual.
Oh, no. I'd also love to see her on my toilet eating a Reuben.
No, I like chunky women because they're accessible. I don't like have crushes. Oh, the Playboy centerfold. Ooh. I like to fantasize someone either I've been with or who tells me they're wet.
Kathy Griffin.
And they're fat.
Yes, because
So you're like me, but you're thin still.
I got a gut.
You got a gut, isn't it weird? Because I used to
I-
be thinner than, I'm not thinner than you, but about the
I
same.
know
when
we
was
never
young.
thought we'd go. Is this fat free or?
Yeah.
Well, I was so skinny growing up. Not a joke, but I used to want to go to. My fantasy was I'd go to sleepaway camp, be 300 pounds, and no one would recognize me. It's really sucked being skinny. It was no joke. I'm
Maybe
getting serious.
if you're thin, that's why you're attracted sometimes to fat women.
No, you know what the thing is? Now it's cool to be thin. You're a brooding, Rick Ocasek animator. Yeah, you have your head. You know what I mean. Now it's cool.
Nowadays, it's cool to Rick Ocasek.
Still hip. I still think it's
I'm
hip.
like my this dad who he's 60 but he thinks he knows references. I could mix it up with the kids. I know Marilyn Manson and I know about anime.
Holy shit. Your dad knows about anime?
No, my friend who's 60.
I went to see an Adele concert.
And there was only room for 3 people in the back.
Oh, come on.
Meaning she takes up the. But that's what he does. He makes Chuck's outrage and then he does fat jokes.
No, I'm not doing fat jokes.
Well, he
I'm just
genuinely
saying,
would like to see
all I
you.
said was I went to see an Adele concert.
Oh.
And what's the.
There's no joke. It was disappointing.
Why?
Because she sang a song and the concert immediately stopped.
Why? Because of the occupancy limits?
No,
That was one of my
it's not over
thrills.
till when the fat lady sings. I think.
I thought it could be 80 or more people is dangerous and unlawful. And I thought, meaning
Oh
she
my
took up 80 of
God.
them.
You are something else. I thought I got fired. I used to work for Otis Elevator Company. You ever hear of that?
Yes.
Otis Elevator Company?
Yeah.
Ever hear of that company?
Never.
Did you hear?
You've never heard of the Otis Elevator
Oh, the-
Company? Are you serious?
I used to do a joke. I tried doing
It's the
stand-up
biggest elevator.
when I was 17. I go, my name is Fred Stoller. If you never heard of the name, you're deaf because I just said it.
Oh, that's a good joke.
Thank you.
But the Otis Elevator Company, because
Yeah.
a lot of us comics started as
Elevator operators.
copywriters for ad agencies.
What?
Copywriters for ad
Oh, the
agencies.
dyslexic Yoo-hoo joke or noodles? Is that a joke? Yeah.
Yes. So my first account was the Otis Elevator Company, which I thought was the most famous elevator company in the world. I can't believe Adam Egan's never heard of it.
How can you not believe that?
Well, he's
I've
a
never
young
heard of
kid.
it.
Now they have real elevators where you press buttons. As
Oh,
opposed
right.
to
Oh, so this is going up?
Yeah.
What for, sir?
Yeah.
So Otis Elevator Company, this was I don't know why, I still don't know why they didn't accept my submission. They fired me the next day. I said, Otis Elevators, they'll never let you down.
Oh, I thought the joke was you proofread the word Otis. Like my joke was to proofread M&Ms. One of those jokes.
Well, we always do the birthdays.
Okay.
You want to hear the
I'd
birthdays?
love to.
Celebrating April 8th birthdays, Dutch singer Anouk turns 37. Former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan, 75. People are living to be very old nowadays. Patricia Arquette is 45. The legendary comedian Shecky Green.
Wow, he's
Love Shecky Green. How old do you think Shecky Green is?
76.
87.
Whoa.
I would have been with you, because I thought he was a little younger than the other ones. But anyways, happy birthday, Shecky. Everybody loves Shecky Green. He'd be great to have on the show.
Oh, fantastic. Let's put him on the list.
Former First Lady Betty Ford would have been a sober 95, I like to think, today, if she was alive. And Albert Fish was born on this day in New York City in 1870.
Do you know the obituaries is concerning me? I'm a little worried because people are dying in alphabetical order.
Who the fuck is Albert Fish?
What?
Who the fuck is Albert Fish?
Oh, Albert Fish?
I've never heard of that guy.
He was known as the Gray Man.
The Grain Man?
The Gray
the
Man.
Gray
The werewolf of Wisteria.
I
You know why he was known as the Gray Man? Because he was a serial killer. He slayed children and ate them. He's a cannibal. But when the police asked a woman to describe him, and she said he was gray in both appearances and demeanor. Very bad description. For
This
the
is like
police to
Arsenio
remember.
when it was woo.
Yeah, ooh.
Wrong.
But
I'm
anyways,
pretending I know who Albert Gray is. I didn't.
no, Albert Fish.
Oh.
You're a New Yorker. So anyways, he was a child rapist and cannibal, as I explained.
When he says child
Jesus
rapist, you try not to
Christ.
laugh when he looks at you.
Oh,
There's
come
something
on, man. It's not
I
funny.
know it's not, but I know you want people to laugh. When
But
you say
Fish
word.
boasted that he had children in every state. Now, I would not boast about that. I don't think you would. I don't think you'd do it. But if you did do it, you certainly wouldn't boast about it.
Not at all, sir.
You'd take that to the grave with you. But he boasted.
Well, they say they
Anyways.
eventually all
Jesus.
sing like a canary.
They do say that?
About murderers, right?
Yeah,
They
want-
brag to
eventually
a
want
friend.
be caught,
Right.
yeah.
When Norm bragged, sorry.
But Fish, this is interesting. Fish chose his victims. He only chose victims who were either mentally handicapped. Now, don't laugh at this next part, please.
But you know he wants you to, right?
No. If you laugh at this next part,
Okay, and I'm not going to
Fish
drink
chose
water.
victims who were either mentally handicapped or African American. Oh, come on. Why would you think that's funny? God damn, Fred. Jesus Christ, that was the worst part of the story. Okay, but why do you think he did that? What would be the explanation? Why would he only attack? Why would his victims that he chose only be either mentally handicapped or African Americans?
Because people in those days didn't care when those people were vanished.
You're
right.
thinking like
Right.
Albert Fish now.
And prostitutes, that's why they kill
That's right.
prostitutes.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's
Nobody
right.
really cares
No.
about prostitutes.
Well, it's like that comedian that would rape people at comedy club. No, in colleges.
Yes, Vince Champ.
They
friend
always
of mine.
said his great gimmick was that people would think who did it, and they never, because he'd go on to another town and another college. But when people say, "What about the comic?"
Yeah. Maybe the worst gimmick a comic ever had. But anyways, but you were exactly right. That's why Albert Fish killed only mentally handicapped and African Americans.
What about, okay.
I thought you'd laugh at African Americans again, that they were.
No, because I know him. I know he'll do something. That's outrageous. How
Well, it's
dare
kind of
you.
outrageous for you. But anyways, Fish tortured, mutilated, and murdered the youngsters. They were children. With a meat cleaver, a butcher knife, and a small hand saw.
Jesus.
God, you.
This is the topical portion?
Yeah.
This is the birthday.
And then he solidified his reputation as the most vicious child slayer in criminal history.
Oh,
Though
you know who
barely
was?
literate, Fish wrote taunting letters to the parents of his victims, gruesomely detailing
Jesus.
how he slayed, butchered, cooked, and then with great enjoyment dined on their offspring. He would inevitably declare that a child's roasted rump was the most toothsome dish in all of gastronomy. Additionally,
you make
Fish
me
was a
never heard this
masochist. Get this. And he would insert wool doused with lighter fluid into his own anus and set it alight for his own enjoyment. Fish was finally arrested, and he immediately began confessing to killing 700 children.
Get out of here.
Yes, and he was dizzyingly happy about it. Smiled as he described the grisly details of the tortures and the murders, appearing to the detectives. And one of the detectives said he appeared as the devil himself. I mean, this guy was a real jerk.
Now I know there was no Albert Fish. Because I would have heard about that.
700.
Okay, so we don't have much time left, so it's time for jokes. Here you go, Fred. You can read a joke.
I become this guy.
This way, but don't read ahead. Nothing's going to be bad.
Okay.
But I'm saying we had Tom Green last week, so we said, because this is also an audio podcast on iTunes, and we said, here, Tom, read a joke, and then he read it
I
silently.
listened to both your podcasts.
Oh, you have?
And you've been very nice, but I'm not the first person. I'm the first guy that you're not in awe with that's not a pioneer. He was getting a lot of praise from people.
I did tell you how much I enjoyed
Okay,
your
no,
stand-up.
he's a good guy, real good guy.
I really appreciate it.
But this is you get jokes. You get to read jokes that you don't have to prepare.
Okay, so don't read ahead.
Don't read ahead, just read right out.
Former porn star Jenna Jameson was arrested this weekend after allegedly assaulting someone. This may be the most damaging thing to happen to her image since her 16-year career in pornography. 16, not 6.
Why did the moron throw the clock out the window?
Why?
Because it reminded him of Richard Clock, the man convicted of knife raping his wife. Good God Almighty!
You know,
Jesus.
it used to be all right.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that one was coming.
Veterinarians in Colorado have reported that marijuana use is on the rise amongst dogs. They say you'll know if your dog is too high if it starts making a really tall sandwich.
They like sweets better
What's
when
that
they're
mean?
high.
Yes, I don't know. My doctor told me I should start juicing. You know.
You mean
But the problem is, I don't think he meant ham juicing.
what?
Yeah, I squeezed a ham and I got some juice out of it.
Oh, I thought you. All right. I thought you were gonna,
Stupid.
Really?
Well, I'm fat. I'm so fat when I get my shoe shined, I have to take the boot black's word for it.
You haven't seen your penis in 3 weeks. I'm keeping it clean.
Jesus Christ.
Well, is that what fat people say?
My penis?
I'm trying to not.
Well, what
be-
about this? Porn actor Ron Jeremy is back at work after having open heart surgery. I think this is interesting. The name of his next feature is going to be called I'm going to have to sit down for most of this. This is a good one for Fred. But don't read ahead.
Okay, I saw the punchline though.
Oh, you did? Okay, I'll read it. Dance like no one is watching. Sing like no one is listening. love like you've never been hurt, and fuck like a goddamn retard.
I saw the word retard.
There you go.
How many Polish guys does it take to screw in a light bulb? The question cannot be answered because Polish people are so fucking stupid that no matter how many of them are available, none of them would ever be able to complete that simple task.
This is a meta joke. Have you aware of these meta jokes?
How many comedians does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
2. One to do it, and the other guy to go, how long's he been up there?
I like that.
On stage.
Yeah, because I was going, how
These are
long?
like, how long?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. My brother-in-law is so stupid. My sister's brother?
Right. Sister's husband.
Sister's husband, rather? My sister's brother would be my brother. Okay, whatever. My brother-in-law, but I was saying it's my sister's brother and not my... What else would it be?
I don't know, but I know your brother's very smart. He does, like, journalism.
Yeah. But this is my brother-in-law. This is my brother-in-law. So stupid, right? He came up with a bucket list. You know what a bucket list?
Oh, sure. Big
You know what his first thing on the bucket list was? Committing suicide. Is that retarded? Huh?
That's just stupid. It's
Have you heard about the four NFL players that are coming out of the closet?
no.
It's about time, I think. I think it's high time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because isn't it strange that there's nobody come out of the closet in an entire sport of football where there's 2,000 players, and you know there's gay people
Right.
playing football.
Because in the locker room, they'll be saying you're looking at me naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a great deal of speculation on who the four openly gay, the four NFL football players that are going to be openly gay are, and nobody knows. Anyways, whatever. My guess is it's those four that are all sucking each other's cocks.
I laughed before the joke. I knew it's going to be a sucking cock joke.
But here, man, you want to read a joke?
Sure.
You read them so good, but do you like his meta jokes?
He's a deep guy, you know. He's a young guy that's still finding themselves, so he's meta.
Yeah. Mark Jacobs is making sure he takes full advantage of his well-deserved vacation with gay porn star boyfriend Harry Lewis. The couple was seen showing off their chiseled physiques in skimpy swim shorts as they kissed, held hands, and frolicked in the ocean together on Ipanema Beach on Sunday in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Mark, 49, wore a tiny black swimsuit, while Harry, 25, donned heart-patterned shorts that left little to the imagination. Both men sported incredible muscular physiques as they shared a lingering kiss on the sand before taking a dip together in the ocean. The pair clearly couldn't keep their hands off each other, holding hands and kissing as they enjoyed their day in the sun. At one point, the affection even appeared to get too much for Mark, as he seemed to gently be pushing his lover away when he tried to kiss his neck. But there were no hard feelings, as Mark, clearly impressed by his boyfriend's impeccable body, snapped photos of the hunk as he stood in a series of different poses. Harry is clearly smitten with his famous boyfriend, tweeting a series of messages and pictures of Mark in quick succession on Sunday. In one tweet, which shows Mark in a pool, Harry wrote, "Hot, beautiful, and just too sexy for one single pic. I love my baby." In another tweet, he wrote, "Sunny and hot, with my baby next to me, even hotter."
So this raises two questions. First, does Entertainment Weekly have a must-not list? And we'll be in it next week.
Are you one of those self-sabotage?
This is the post-punk comedy. Now,
I
this
see.
might be too...
He's not one of those sabotaging guys that's
It's-
afraid of
it-
success.
No. No, this is a new type of comedy that may be a little advanced for the likes of you and me, to tell you the truth.
Thought I'd try to take a
I think
chance.
that's what it is. But I think this will get a big
Took a
laugh.
chance. Oh, I forgot I need these. Because of droughts all over Europe, scientists are predicting a global shortage of olive oil. Soon the world will know how Popeye felt after the death of his wife.
Olive oil. Remember how fucking skinny and ugly she is, and they'd always want to fuck her?
And how Big Ethel would chase Jughead.
Oh, let's not get into Jughead.
I'm sorry. I went too far.
One last joke, Daniel thinks, that, unless it doesn't work. How about this? It takes forever to get a pilot's license. Think about this. It takes forever, not forever, but it takes years of training to get a pilot's license. But it only takes a couple of minutes to steal a pilot's jacket and hat. And then do some, terrorist act, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I was not living because I was thinking it was going to be a terrorist.
You were worried about a terrorist act.
I was a little nervous.
Did you see Olympus Has Fallen?
No.
Wow. It's very intense.
Is it like Star 69, or what was that movie with the...
It's very
white
unrealistic to me. First of all, the president's white, which I don't think will ever happen again.
Right.
And then Morgan Freeman becomes the president because they want to make it somewhat realistic.
Right.
He's the Secretary of Defense.
Oh, so the president dies and...
Yeah. And then the Koreans, show up, the North Koreans, and I don't want to give away too much of the movie. I just thought of it. People are going to watch the movie.
Now that you have a show, do people like give you screeners and you sit and...
Barbara Walters is planning to announce her retirement. What's next for Babs? Death.
The old Norm MacDonald is back.
All right, Fred
got it.
Stoller was with us. You should come back and do another one. I think we barely scratched the surface.
No,
I really do.
Because we had stories, but I went crazy.
Well, plus a full 13 minutes went into that performance art piece he just did.
Jesus
Well,
Christ. What are you?
I gave it a shot. I won't try it again.
He had to do what's called anti-comedy.
Anti-comedy or
it's the
meta-comedy.
Yeah.
Anti meaning the opposite.
I have a publicist for my book, and one for the publisher is great. This other one, so we tried for Jimmy Fallon, and not going to happen, right? She goes, but maybe you could be in the audience. She was trying to think, like, all right, yeah, like I'm not good enough to be on the show, but hold it up, like, hey, like wave.
All right, why don't you do that? You said no. You thought that was too.
Well,
Hold up your book.
But from the audience, like pathetically.
I don't know, but it still sells the book.
But what if they kick me out? I'm just taking liberties that I'm going to sit in the audience and hold.
Oh,
it up.
you don't tell Jimmy Fallon
No.
you'll do. Oh,
She
that's.
said just sit there.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ.
No, I thought Jimmy Fallon would be aware of it.
No. She said maybe you could
No,
sit.
don't do that.
Oh no,
No, I think that's against the law.
Yeah, and they had these other ideas like she's from Philly that are going to run up the steps like Rocky, and they videotape it. I go, what does that have to do with the book? A guest star guy.
You can't do that in the city that saw the Twin Towers fall. Just show up and
Hold the book
30
up.
Rock and start shrieking.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was like yeah, that's a consolation. Like,
Were you in New York when the Twin Towers fell?
No, I was in Los Angeles.
Well, either way, it was a national tragedy.
So you do it too. He does this thing where he says something, he looks you right in the eye, and you laugh.
It was, Freddie.
This really is bad for my book because I'm saying Norm was a jerk, and here you are laughing on his show. So it's like all credibility is gone of who is assholes to me on my journey of the guest star life.
Well, next time
Yes.
that you come on, I'll have read the book because I spent all my time reading a
fake
superior book.
Is that a real book or
It's a
a
real
bit?
book. Look.
I thought it was a bit for the show.
No.
It's actually riveting. I've read a couple
It's a
chapters.
fantastic book. This guy's amazing.
But
I haven't read your book, so I can't, in all truthfulness, say this is a superior book, but I strongly suspect it is. Because he's talking about, he's got, who does he have? Ava Gardner, Steve McQueen, and well, you got like Dom Irrera.
Caroline Ray
just cannot hold
No,
a
it's
candle.
not like this. Frank Langella has a book called Tattletales or Talking. Well, Dom Irrera gave me a joke. He goes, it's not a tell-all, it's a tell-partial.
Yours?
Yes.
Why is Frank Langella in your book?
No, he has
has
a
a
book called
separate- he has
Naming
another book called
Names.
Naming
Oh, he names names.
Names. I just named you, Caroline Ray, Kathy Griffin.
But doesn't Frank
Gilbert.
Langella seem like he's not a
Gilbert.
big star?
But he said sex. He's seen people naked. I guess he gave them
He has.
dirt.
Yeah,
No,
he
this
has.
got rejected a lot. It doesn't have dirt. It's not a book about doing coke with Candace Bergen and then we, spit. It's
What
just.
did you say right before she said, I'm wet? Now it sounds sexy to me.
I was saying, I don't know, you want to get a bite, a movie, I'm wet. So I'm going to try. I tried that on other women. It doesn't
Okay,
work.
so I'll be Kathy Griffin,
And be
and
me?
you be you.
I don't know this area. Actually, it was around Centinela. You want, I don't know, see a movie, get a bite to eat?
I'm wet.
It gave me the confidence to have.
All right, the great Fred Stoller was our
Thank you.
guest. That was fun, man.
Oh, yeah.
You're the best.
Thank you. It's, my mother doesn't.
I think we're off the air.
Okay. I need the bathroom so badly.